So I was just sitting here in my house, having a normal day, you know. I ate pizza, watched my favorite YouTubers, I stressed over school in my future, wondering which college I was going to go to, you know, just a normal day. Then out of nowhere, new spoilers for Digimon Adventure Try Our Future came out, and I contemplated, should I just read these spoilers right now and get the answers that I've wanted and waited for oh so long? Or should I wait another month? Because if I wait for the movie to be released, then when the movie finally does come out, I'll feel much more satisfied knowing I waited to get the answers. Remembering that Toei has been an ass when it comes to answering our questions, and I didn't want to wait any longer for answers, I said screw it and read the spoilers, which coincidentally is very similar to what I did before Symbiosis came out. But we're not here to talk about that.
No, babe!
We're here to talk about these spoilers, and in case the title wasn't clear enough, these are gigantic spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then click off the video right now, and I'll even give you time to click off the video as I explain that. I realize other larger channels have already gone over this topic, so I am a bit late to the party, but when has being late ever stopped someone before? Besides, finally getting some answers to the questions we have all wanted answered and we've asked about is something that I want to share with you guys. Also, these spoilers came from a fan who watched Digimon Adventure Try Our Future at a private screening. So, with all that being said, I am Alejandro Mendoza, and let's see what these spoilers have in store for us. Now, if you've been on my channel before, then most of you probably know that among all the questions we have, there's one burning question above all the others that I want answered. And I want it answered so much so that I made a convoluted theory/fanfiction about it that spanned over 2 hours just because I wanted to try and answer the question. So, do the spoilers answer this question, and is it a satisfying answer? Well, since I seem to be a glutton for punishment, I decided that I would leave this answer for the end. Because, you know, why not? After all, the 02 Digidestined were already sidelined in Try, because we of course know that Try isn't the story of Davis and the others, but rather it's the story of Meiko and meicoomon. I mean, Ty and the original Digidestined. Speaking of Meiko and meicoomon, what happens to this infamous pair? Well, Meiko survives, and apparently it's her Digivice that is the key to helping Omnimon digivolve into his new form, otherwise known as Omnimon Merciful Mode. So, there's that. And it seems that after the battle for Dinamon ends, Meiko just moves back to her hometown, but still keeps in touch with Ty and the others. And that just seems kind of wrong, considering that she went on this whole adventure with Ty and everybody else, only to leave them after everything is over. And specifically, it just feels wrong for Ty because we know she was supposed to become his girlfriend. And we know it's because of, you know, various interactions between the two. And so, you know, if you were one of the people out there hoping Meiko would die, well, she doesn't. But, you know, if it's any consolation, meicoomon does indeed die. That scene we saw in the last trailer where Meiko and meicoomon are in this place of light, that is where the two say farewell to one another. And also, apparently there isn't any more elaboration on the shard of a Pokemon within meicoomon. And it's kind of ironic that the new Omnimon form is called Omnimon Merciful Mode, when he's probably going to use his humongous sword to slice Ordinamon in half and kill meicoomon in the process. So, I mean, that doesn't seem too merciful now, does it, Omnimon Merciful Mode? And, you know, by the way, in case you couldn't tell, I'm obviously joking about the whole merciful thing. I know that Omnimon killing meicoomon is basically a mercy killing, since meicoomon gone crazy, but it's kind of ironic, and hey, I have a sense of humor too, you know? It's only just coming out now in this video. But just because I'm trying to be humorous in this video doesn't make the spoilers any less real, but you guys probably realize this, and I'm just explaining this for no freaking reason! Damn it, Alejandro!
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay?
Now, where was I? Oh yes, character deaths. Speaking of which, in addition to meicoomon, Daigo also dies. But after the trailer where we saw him covered in blood, I don't think we needed a spoiler to tell us he would die. Although it still does kind of suck that he'll be gone because, I mean, I liked this character. It wasn't anything spectacular, but, you know, it was nice. As for Daigo's partner in crime, Maki, apparently she doesn't show up in the movie at all, so her fate is left pretty ambiguous. I mean, you know, she could have drowned in the dark ocean, or who knows, maybe the minions of Digimon decided, you know, screw it, let's make her our queen instead of Kari. But that probably isn't the case. Also, there aren't more flashbacks to Daigo and Maki's past, so we probably won't learn a whole lot more about them. As for Wizardmon, it seems like he helps Gatomon deliver the message to Kari that the light is within meicoomon, but besides that, there seems to be nothing else involving him. And while we're on the topic of somewhat obscure characters, Alphamon also does not appear in this movie, so his whole role in the story is still just kind of confusing to me. And oh yeah, Hackmon, he also appears in the movie to tell the Digidestined that Homeostasis is planning on performing another reboot. And Jessamon actually saves Gatomon from within her Digimon, but as he's saving her, apparently Jessamon then falls into the ocean and is never seen again in the movie. And something that's kind of weird about that is just like with the whole homeostasis thing is like, why would homeostasis tell, Hackmon that they're going to do the reboot again, but then at the same time, Jessamon, who works for homeostasis, goes and saves Gatomon. I mean, something else that the spoilers say is that Agumon and the other Digimon regain their memories, so that would imply homeostasis doesn't go through for another reboot. So, why would she tell Hackmon, another reboot's going to happen? And, unless I'm missing something, I don't know, unless, homeostasis is just sending out mixed signals to the Digidestined, like saying, hey, I'm going to screw you guys over again, but in actuality, I'm actually going to help you. Who knows? Maybe homeostasis is actually a tsundere, and that's the biggest plot twist of all. Next up, Jedi, and there's not really a whole lot to go off of here, since it seems that based off the spoilers, he doesn't really do anything in the movie. The spoilers say he's in a lab of some kind and that he is there controlling things, but as for what happens to him in terms of if he turns good again or if he remains on Yggdrasil's side, nothing is really said about him on that front, so it's left kind of ambiguous just like with Maki. And then, of course, like I said before, Agumon and the other Digimon regain their memories after Meiko's Digivice is released. And while I'm glad that they got their memories back, the fact that they get them back, it just really makes what happened with the reboot lose a lot of its emotional impact and makes the Digidestined having to rebond with their Digimon feel pointless. Also, it seems that there's going to be a 3-month time skip at the end of the movie, so that's certainly interesting. I mean, I wonder how that's going to play out if we get a sequel to Try. But finally, the question that I have wanted answered for so long. Where have Davis, Ken, Yoli, and Cody been throughout Try? And the answer is, they were all in some kind of hibernation/coma. Yep, that is it. They were all just in a digi-coma, basically. And you might be asking, how did they get placed into a coma in the first place? Well, we don't know the answer, because it hasn't been explained. But what about my convoluted fanfic theory? Well, looking back on it, I knew that something as convoluted as what I said wasn't going to happen. Not to mention that in that theory, more so in parts 3 and 4, I made a lot of unfounded assumptions. So even if Toei had decided to go for a more complicated explanation as to what happened to Davis and the others, I would not have wanted it to be what I said in my original theory. So, I can accept that. Obviously, my theory is very convoluted, and I knew it wasn't going to happen, and there are obviously flaws within it. And what Toei gave us, it is a very simple and straightforward explanation, and that is fine. But a couple of problems with the whole 02 Digidestined in a coma thing. First off, how were they put into a coma? We saw them being defeated by Alphamon, so, what, did he just hit them so hard they all went into comas? Secondly, why didn't Alphamon kill them? If he was the one to defeat them and he clearly meant to harm them, why not kill them? Third, where were Davis and the others when they were defeated, and how did Maki and Daigo find them? And also, something else is that in the blog post comment section of the spoilers, the guy who made it was answering some people's questions, and he said that apparently the 02 kids and Taichi were placed in capsules that are then launched off like rockets from the lab. Wait, I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? They are placed in capsules that are then launched like missiles from the lab. What? Are you kidding me? So, you know what? The Daigo and the other members of the organization he's working for just drag Davis, Tai, and everyone else's bodies into the lab, put them into these capsules, and then say, sayonara, as they then shot the capsules like missiles through the sky? No. That seems perfectly reasonable and not dangerous at all. Just launch some comatose teenagers through the sky like nothing bad could possibly happen from that. And to top it all off, we barely get to see Davis, Ken, Yoli, and Cody at all. Because, according to the spoilers, we don't even get to see detailed versions of the character design at all, since it just says that we see shadows or silhouettes of them, and that's it. But you want to know what the funniest part of all this is? I was actually planning on making an updated theory video on the 02 Digidestined. I'm not even joking. Although, maybe it's for the best that these spoilers came out. And if you've only been listening to my voice right now and not been paying attention to the screen, well, look at the screen right now. Yep. That's the thumbnail I was going to use for my updated theory video. I had all my recording done. I was in the process of editing it, But then I found out, Davis and the others are just in comas, and we don't even get to see detailed versions of them. We just see silhouettes of them. Well, I'm happy we were finally told where the 02 Digidestined were throughout Tri, and I'm glad, I'm happy that we get to see them, even if it's only as silhouettes. Would have killed Toei just to give them a detailed appearance. As for the 02 epilogue, there are certainly a couple things that point to it, since in the spoilers it states that TK is taking steps towards being a writer. So I mean, I for one still think the 02 epilogue is going to happen, just with some slight changes if Toei wants to do that. But that is it, guys. These spoilers have burnt me out, and I'm just going to say that there better be a sequel to Tri. There are still so many questions we need answered, and I want to see a new story with Davis and the 02 cast as the main characters. But for now, we'll have to wait and see. And here is my outro. Insert line about how if you enjoy my content and videos, leave likes and subscribe. Insert line that I appreciate all of you, even if you are not subscribed. And now my double outro. I'm Alejandro Mendoza, and I will see you later. Bye. See, it's a double outro because I said I'll see you later, but then I added a bye for a double outro. However, now that I pointed that out, I have to do a third outro. Until next time, guys. Alejandro out.